Welcome to the Bohannan Team podcast, where we talk about all things real estate. I'm Megan Bohannan.
I'm Emily Unnerstall.
I'm Rosio Roe.
I'm Elizabeth Zazueta, aka Sally Nate B.
I love that. I'm really excited this is our first podcast, so I'm like even more excited we talk all day long anyways, but it's exciting to let other people know kind of what we're doing and who we are. Because I never thought I would have a real estate team, but this kind of all came together. It's a blessing. I think we would all agree upon that. So I just wanted people to get to know you girls as well as I do. So I've known Emily for back a long time. Back when she was in her escrow days.
That was my whole career. So yeah, it was 12 years.
And that was Haley was really little.
Baby.
So Emily decided to get into real estate, which is really exciting. And now
I did.
Segued back to my
Came back. Yes, you were my influence to get my license. So
good or bad?
good. Obviously good. I'm here.
No, I'm not. I don't knew that this would be something really powerful and already taking flight. So tell me what made you want to join a team other than being a solo agent? Because you were already doing that on your own.
Right. I was a solo agent for 3 years before joining the team. But honestly, it was camaraderie and just working with your friends all day long and being able to build on each other and learn. And the knowledge is incredible.
Yeah. So do you feel like you're getting more like now? Like, what is your favorite aspect of like being on the team?
Honestly, I love coming to work and seeing you guys every day. It makes me so happy.
I think the accountability part is really exciting. Now we're all just kind of doing that for each other. And I'm like, it helped me. I feel like it's selfish. It's like a missionary going on a missions trip and they say, how did you impact their lives? And they always say, no, they impacted my life. So it's like the same thing I felt with the team, which is great. So I love you.
I love you too.
And then Miss Rosio Roe, I met you through Women's Council, not even knowing she was coming to RE/MAX. So I feel like it was like a very organic meet because we just liked each other right off the bat. And then she surprised me by saying, I'm coming to RE/MAX this week. And I'm like, what? So we got to talk about that and how she was in the mentorship program and all of those things. So, but a little tidbit I know about you, Rosio, is if you don't get to the question answered, you find out real quick what you need. So I love that about you. So tell me about transitioning from the mentorship program to becoming like your own independent agent.
So I really liked it, but before I get into that, it was actually funny when I went to RE/MAX because when I was telling people, they actually thought I was going to RE/MAX because of you. And I was like, oh no, I'm not going to work with her. Yes, they were like, oh yeah, Megan's a great person to work with. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know her too, but I'm not going to RE/MAX because of Megan. So it just was like funny how it ended up being that I'm actually now working.
It's another sign.
Yeah.
God, that this line.
When they said that, I was like, no, that's not why I'm going. But yes, I talked with Megan, so it was just funny how that worked out, right? It was like a sign. I was like guiding me that way, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But from going from the mentor forum to be on my own, I feel like it's being with RE/MAX and on the team, and still like you're still in the mentor forum because I'm never on my own. So it's like, I can always ask you or ask anyone on the team or even, the brokerage, hey, I have this problem. So it's really great because I feel like I have support,
You're constantly learning and growing.
Exactly.
I love it because we can kind of come to the drawing table every single time with each one of our deals and we all learn. We talk about the ins and outs of everything. You're just learning at a really rapid pace, which is really impressive to me. Because I feel like it took me a few years to be at your level. So when I see somebody who's newer in the game just absorbing this amount of information and you're explaining contracts to people, I'm like, what? How does she know that already? It's extremely, extremely impressive and helpful. And you're an amazing asset to our team.
So, thank you.
Thank you. And my girl, Elizabeth, in my videos all the time. I love it. You bring so much spice to everything you do. And I love that about you. But tell me how you decided to become a real estate agent and why that was something that you were drawn to, because you went to college for marketing, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Wait, so what college did you go to?
So I went to Cal State Camigas Hills.
Oh, I love it. Did you major in just marketing or what did you do?
Business administration and marketing.
Yeah. So tell me how like that transitioned into wanting to become a real estate agent and how it's been helpful.
Actually, I never worked in marketing or business administration prior to real estate.
What did you do?
I used to work at a medical office.
Okay.
Mhm.
What did you do for them?
Well, I was the office manager. I was running a team of technicians, basically.
Okay.
But I was a consultant also. So I was in sales. I was in sales. But the reason why I decided to get into real estate was, one, because you look so beautiful in all those magazines. Like, I was like, oh, I want to go like that.
Psycho needs to stop me. And
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I thought you were the owner of Remax. I did not know that a top producer meant. I had no idea.
everybody's a top producer though, so.
I was just like, when I was starting to look at brokerages, I was like, oh, I want to work for this class.
Oh, read about that. I thought you were in the
owner. So that's why I chose Remax. It was a deal.
Do we record that? That's really cool. So you got your degree, you had experience with on-the-job training, which a lot of times people can't go get jobs, even if they have a college degree, because they go, oh, so you don't have experience. So
Yeah.
you're like, well, how do I get experience if nobody hires me? So you had like some experience. Do you think that has helped you in the real estate world and how you chose, or how did you choose to be a realtor first before we get into that? Or what?
Do you guys really want to know?
That's the tea. We want to know.
Well, during the pandemic, I lost my job. And so I was home watching Netflix, watching Selling Sunset.
No,
And I was like, ooh, I would love that for myself. No, I just really thought that this would be a great career because obviously we're helping people all the time. But the main reason, honestly, why I got into this career was to be George's real estate agent. No, that make some money. I'm like, oh, that's tired. We don't have anyone else. Who's George too?
oh yeah. George, we always talk about we're number one client.
My number one client. And the reason why I became an agent, obviously.
Yeah, but you're doing extremely well. You have multiple escrows this month, and you have one. Did it close today or yesterday?
Today. Oh my God.
Oh, and it's kind of funny because this is you've closed other deals, but this was your first like technical client. So it goes to show you stuck through it. And where were you this morning? Even though I already know, tell everybody.
I was helping her pack.
She was helping her pack. So that's another reason the selling sunset's so false to me because you don't see them ever moving a box. Very select, but they've really sent no paper. And I know they'll want to dust up their, $15,000 outfit. So
I immediately learned that was all false.
Yeah.
And you're like, when you really got into it and you realize it was nothing, I was like, what? I didn't get the help today.
Instagram versus reality.
Yeah.
I always say that real estate is and always will be the most humbling career on the planet. I've been doing this. I'll be licensed 10 years this year, but I was already doing real estate a little bit prior to being licensed. So I'm going to say over 10 years experience. Every year, it's the same stress. You're trying to reach new goals. You're trying to last year, what did I do last year that I hated that I want to like not rinse and repeat, like try to change our bad habits or, if something really worked out for us, how can we expand on that and just really up our game? So I think that you guys are doing extremely well right off the bat of things because when I started, social media was kind of just becoming like something that people are like using as a platform for real estate and all these things. Now you guys are coming into I feel like it might be worse for you guys. So I feel like it's more competitive because everybody's doing real estate. I kind of had a leg up because I'm like, I was going to say I'm the first girl who's holding sold signs with her clients because people weren't even doing that yet. And now people are popping champagne bottles and all that stuff. So how do you feel, Emily, that social media is helping you with your growth as an agent?
Honestly, I wasn't on social media a lot and I kind of got a little kick in the rump and was told by you to get off the social media, and it has increased it's increased my client base quite a bit. You know, Rosio and I were sitting down this morning and I was writing down list of like all the clients that I've had over the course of my career. Like, oh yeah, this one was a Facebook referral. Oh yeah, this one was this one was that. So it's definitely helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're funny. Like, I feel like that's one thing I like. We always joke that we make each other funnier because we have like both the same personality. But you post a lot of things that are true to your personality, which I really appreciate. So if you want to follow Emily, I think it's hilarious because she'll be chasing chicken.
Chase chick out.
I tip her sassy daughter. She's about to get married, which is so exciting. So we can to walk down that road with you.
Yes.
I do. We're gonna have about.
We're gonna walk down the aisle with like Matt for each other.
But we will be at your wedding.
Yeah, and I told we're white. Thank you. I let you. More today we get out.
But yeah, I think it's exciting. And the social media is really true to yourself.
It is. Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. But with that said, I want to ask, I mean, in my opinion, the queen of Instagram, TikTok. I'm going to give you TikTok first. But Elizabeth, you are so good at keeping a camera out and just being just still present with people. I feel like you have this amazing quality to have your phone out recording things and still be so present with people.
Is her phone in the corner?
Let's turn here.
But I think that's an amazing ability because sometimes I don't want to take my phone out and record because I feel like I'm losing that presence with people. So I'll go to an appointment and I'm like, dang it, I didn't record. I wanted to get that. And now I'm home and whatever. Nobody knows I work today because I'm always working.
Yep.
But you have that. How do you remind yourself or stay top of mind to do that?
It's a great question. Because I feel like although it seems like I am very on top of my Instagram game or my TikTok game, it's hard when you have a client in front of you. You want to give them your full attention. So it's weird if I need to pull out my phone to record the house or something. So I try my best to give them my full attention. But when they're not present, I take out my phone and I'm like, okay, let's take advantage of this. And then sometimes I just record things. And then at the end of the day or at the end of the week, I'm like, oh, what do I have? And I'll make a video.
I would post things not the day you actually did it then sometimes?
I don't actually do that all the time for safety reasons because you don't want to show people where you are all the time.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, I usually post 2 days after, 3 days after. Sometimes because I'm like, yes, gosh, you just did 3 posts in this app that I just saw. I was like, oh my gosh, how do you have the time?
But it's good because the show has content as well. So I just really appreciate the fact that you are always top of mind in that, even if but you spend a lot of time. How much time do you think you spend editing videos?
I spend a lot of time. I don't watch any shows anymore because when I have downtime, I'm like, oh, I can edit a video. And sometimes I do spend 2-3 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, now it's 12. I need to go to sleep. So I do spend a lot of time, which I'm trying not to do anymore because I know social media is so important, but we have other things that are more important.
I think the social media clock runs twice as fast as a regular clock. I'm like, how? And then I get my the screen time accountability at the end of the week, and I'm like,
I don't even
Lord, holy God! To be honest, so yeah, that is the only accountability I don't want anymore is my screen time update. If my phone's probably listening right now, can I stop? But I want to stay away from social media, even though I could talk about it all day long. But Rosio, you have 2 little boys, Ethan and Lucas. They're the cutest things on planet Earth, and they have your gorgeous eyes, or Lucas especially, because of little beautiful eyes. But tell me how you balanced as a mom, killing it. You did so many transactions your first year, and balanced. You're married, so you have a husband who helps you. But how that still is so much work. Tell me how you balance that in your life.
It does help me, but only on weekends. So Monday through Friday, pretty much, I pick them up, I drop them off, I do everything with the kids. So it's really hard because I only have 6 hours while I'm in school to get anything done. So I feel like sometimes it's that balance where my house is not as tidied up, even I'm trying to work, and then getting home with them, they have to hold on with them and all that.
thinking about dinner, thinking about everything else.
So now I'm like getting into doing the crock pots because oh my god, it's like so easy. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like yesterday, I was like, oh my god, I didn't cook, but I had chicken, so I threw it in there 20 minutes. It was so good, and it's
And your hubby's happy because it smells good.
I'm wanting more. It's like
He's like, wow, she's like a magician. How does she do all this? But I feel like you do really good work balance. I always say that because I don't have children, I have way more excuses throughout the day to not, use my time wisely. So I felt like if I knew I had to pick somebody up at 1:00 and I only have this much time, I better be on my game.
Yeah.
But you really impressed me with how much you balance all that stuff. Elizabeth is recording us right now. Oh my gosh, I can't handle it. But yeah, so I think this whole team thing is really awesome. I think everybody has seen our billboards, which makes me super excited. You haven't seen it. It was we have even a preview here because we're getting very narcissistic with our billboard. But also Rosio's kids play, is it T-ball similar or
baseball, so it's farm and majors. So yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to have our banners there now too. So we're trying to get a lot of our advertisements out there.
Which I will be joining the board soon. I should.
Oh, great. I love that. And then we kind of talked about, humbly announced that I am president of Women's Council.
Yeah.
I've actually been really passionate about it because when I started, and it's still funny that you guys are so gloomy about this. When I was a realtor, nobody talked about Women's Council. It was like not the cool place to be. The parties were just like, it was a yard house in the courtroom, whatever you call it, the outside place. Yeah. You just walk around and like eat French fries. And I'm like, it's not really what I want to do. I feel like Women's Council is really grown, but you guys already were like, I want to be part of a group and network. So you guys are just like, man, I wish I had a time machine to be doing what you guys were doing. But do you love the networking? So you're on the board with me with Women's Council. Do you feel like it's helping you as an agent?
Feel like it is because I have access to so many more people that are in real estate that are, willing to help, and it's okay to call them. They actually want to talk to you. Because there's some agents that they don't want to tell you anything, like everything's private, But aside from that, I actually was referred a client through Women's Council. So I actually got, business from there. So
was that your Bakersfield town?
It was in Barstow.
Oh, Barstow, that's right. Yeah, so that's super powerful. That's actually how I met the agent who sold my grandparents' house. She was the sweetest lady, and I was there, and I found out where she lived, and I was like, do you cover this territory? And she was like, that's like 15 miles from my house. And she sold my grandparents' home and was like the most gracious. It was the smoothest transaction, but I felt like because I had that ease, I wasn't a nervous Nancy trying to micromanage her because I already trusted her, which is like the power for me to do. So you went to a like an expo where you got to hear people speak live, right, Elizabeth?
Right.
How was that for you going into networking with people in a different area? Did you feel like you got more takeaways? Because what Rosio said, like they were willing to share their minds more than, somebody here in town where they don't want to give away their trade secrets. Do you feel like you got a little bit more insight?
There's also a lot of agents here, like yourself, that love sharing what you guys know with us. But it's just always nice to hear how other people run their business, how other agents run their business in other cities, because every city is different, every market is different. So it's just good to learn from other people.
Yeah. But did you feel a different energy in that room? Like, because where were you, in LA?
No, it was Granada Hills.
Oh, Granada Hills. Everybody's dressed to the nines and all of that. And yeah, because I just feel like it's different. Like every place you go to, because we went to the one for ARIA for the Asian Chamber of Real Estate. I don't know the acronym completely, but that was like, I loved listening to those people speak. Yeah. Like to me, I have like so many takeaways of like just knowing that these agents, there's agents that far surpass me that I'm just like so intrigued by. But hearing their stories, did you feel anything after leaving that room?
I felt very empowered, and it was kind of a blessing, especially for you too, meeting a lot of those agents.
Oh,
you went to the stand up so when your sister's half outside.
Was he after he learned him?
Hilarious.
But how trusted? We trusted him.
Very trusted, and he's a good person to follow on social media too, because he really dives into the education of
that permit and in the Bay Area. He's hilarious.
Amazing.
He'll tell you how funny he is too.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, he dives into the education of things, and he shares it in a way to where everybody can understand it and find the takeaway that they need from it.
Yeah.
Which is really good. And that was something that I really enjoyed.
No, I've got. I really like that name because there's like agents where I felt like, oh, they must have had it always together, and then you're hearing that like they had to ride a bike to put out open house signs at one point. And I'm like, whoa, that is the grind. But if they can do it, we can do it. And it's always like something I bring back to the drawing board of our little notes we're always taking. But Emily, you were, prior to real estate and when I met you, you worked in the escrow world.
I did. So I actually started doing loans at a credit union. I started as a teller, transferred into a little bit of loans, and then buying my first home is when I got my foot in the actual real estate community. In 2010 is when I bought our first home, and I ended up going to work for the lender that financed our loan, and I worked there. And then from there, I went into escrow and title for a million years.
I love that I hear knowledge on the team because you get to really school us on that. I know. Interview with that. What is escrow? Like, explain to me what, like, the importance of escrow. Because when I tell my clients, like, well, you have to have it. You know, and I was in a pass for yes.
So honestly, escrow is your neutral third party. They don't represent the seller. They don't represent the buyer. They don't represent either agent. They are solely neutral. And what they do is they handle the money, essentially. So when your loan funds, it goes to title. Title says, hey, this amount goes to the seller. Buyer deposits, they protect all of the stuff financially. They make sure every single T is crossed, every single I is dotted. Everything is kosher.
We, at the end of the day, are grateful for escrow.
Oh, 100%.
So grateful for escrow always. But but I love that fact that you were able to take that knowledge. And then you brought up an important point, because I think, Rosio, you already had bought a house pre-real estate, right? So, but you felt like you did the job for your realtor a little bit.
So I actually bought 3 of my properties before I got into real estate. Our first property, we bought it cash in Arizona, but that agent was the listing agent. And at that time I didn't I wasn't in real estate yet. I didn't really know how it worked. And so I was like, well, let's just call her and, get it. So she didn't explain anything to me at all. I was just like, I didn't know what was going on, right? But we did the paperwork. Everything was fine. The second time I bought my home, that time I actually did a first-time home buyer. And then that agent was a good agent. I just felt like sometimes he wasn't as available as I wanted him to. And then the third time I bought the house, we did conventional. So I actually had the process of all those 3 different type of way of purchasing a home, which I feel really, really helped me. And so that just really made my career so much easier, because when I started it, I realized how many agents get into it and never even purchased a home.
Yeah.
So it does really help knowing the process of it.
Yeah. Did that make you well, you said something really cute to me in the car the other day, that your dad does construction work. And she, as a little girl, used to dream about becoming a realtor so she could sell her dad's properties. But I thought, how cute is that to transition that?
Yeah.
And so
yes, he used to do landscaping, and he would take us to the properties that his, the company would buy, and they'd buy the properties in Beverly Hills, and we, remodel them and then sell them. And I remember, my brother worked in the field too, and I would think, oh, it'd be great if I'm a realtor, and then my dad can fix up, I'll buy houses, he can fix them up, and then we can sell them. That was my goal, I would really wanted to do it.
But you're doing it.
Yeah, that would help like that.
I love that, because when I was a little girl, I would always play kitchen and box houses. And I would take my mom's little calculator. Remember how you type it in and then the ribbon would put the number. Oh, and then Steve would come in. Would you imagine stop wasting the tape?
It would have a little kind of grocery store. So
we did. And if we had to do with numbers, I was always a part of. I never played real estate, but I ended up going to speak to somebody, thinking why do I what am I going to do with my life, right? I like all these things. People keep telling me to go into real estate. And I thought, I don't know, it sounds really hard, And then finally taking this whole assessment test, saying, you need to go into real estate. So just pushed me. And then obviously the rest is history. But it's really neat to see, our dreams as little girls, we're sitting here. And Elizabeth, you had a small career you didn't mention prior to...
A what?
What did you used to do on the side, or your license to do?
Again?
We can explain how you're always so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. No, actually, So I went to cosmetology school when I was in college because that was my actual dream, to be a hairdresser. I always liked to look pretty, and it just felt nice always doing my mom's hair and how she would react after. So I always wanted to do that. But then I got my license and everything, and then I started doing hair. And then I quickly realized I did not want to be listening to all these girls talking to me about outlet. They're positive, like I don't want it.
World, but now, yeah, that's just world of real estate.
So I feel bad with it for myself, and so
We can't speak for it. But yeah, I love people getting to know you girls, and this is really exciting. So I can't wait for our next one because I really want to dive deep into things we're actually doing into real estate to put us on the map to be one of the top teams in the Antelope Valley, hopefully greater Los Angeles as a whole soon. So do not forget, you guys, the Bohannan Team podcast for all things real estate, and tune in next time.
bye, guys.
Bye.